This is part 2 of a 2-part series. Click on the card on the top right or the link in the description for part 1. Go and watch that one first. Seriously, I'll be starting exactly where we left off. Go watch Infinity War before Endgame first. I'm sure the large horrifying purple ants you can summon at any time would grow on you after a while. Every single ability is literally mind manipulation. Well, it's more mind destruction, actually, because you're more so brainwashing them. Imagine being able to throw malevolent fetuses. The other abilities are okay if you're into Arnis, I guess. I'd love to have Meditate though, to take a moment out of the hustle and bustle of the world. Strut. Easily. Shadow Realm joke, yeah. In all seriousness, it's honestly fairly good, as it's pretty much stealth for you and someone for a few seconds. Plus, you can bring stuff in there too. It's just a few seconds, but you can probably finish like a Snickers in that time. You can put a magic shield on yourself so boiling oil won't get to you. I could honestly give the best ability to any of them. Waterbending, while at the same time, being able to generate your own water supply is ridiculously useful. Ebb and Flow is the definite winner though. A portable targeted bath of spirit water is sublime. A massive shield. The rest of your abilities have enough power to destroy downtown Detroit. I don't live in America, but downtown Detroit always sounded cool whenever I hear it on TV.
Downtown Detroit.
Throw the rest of her abilities to the trash. Except Shape Splitter, which alone would still give her the handy rating at least. Let's talk about inherent glamour. Since humans are considered champions by our rules, you can transform into anybody you know. What's more, you get their clothes and voice too. Since you'll probably never use any other ability, you'll never break your disguise and can pretend to be somebody for as long as you want. You can pretend to be the president and have God mode. You can be Kanye for a day. You can pretend to be a famous YouTuber and stir up drama. There's so much stuff you can do. If a cougar uses her ultimate, does she become cougar level 2? None of his abilities are particularly useful. Spell shields are useless because you're the only person with towers. Unspeakable Horror is a horror movie in your pocket, I guess. This one's almost useless tier, honestly. Biggest snowball ever would be cute, especially considering you don't even need snow to start rolling. If the axes were as big as Darius's, this would have a useless rating, honestly. As it stands, the hatches have their uses, like fixing a picket fence. The sum of its parts is definitely better than the individual here, though you can't even sit on the ball, because it'll just pop up back on your head. If you can attach controllable hands to the ball, then it would be much handier. The cute little Thor hammer is my pick. Thank God for our spectral weapon rule, considering how heavy it would be to carry around otherwise. Like Galio's ultimate, Grand Starfall would wipe out a city block from the map. His other abilities don't fare too well either. I'll give it to the spear, but this is a very borderline useless tier. I'll take an oversized hammer over an oversized axe at least. Bone Skewer is pretty much a worse rocket grab. Ghost Water Dive is camouflage, so that one I guess. Death from Below is a blink and has its uses. Just make sure you don't decapitate the folks in the next room. Yeah, no. The Circle Blade is too big, and you would probably sooner cut your own head off before getting good at using it. Dashes in general are pretty useless. And if used irresponsibly, you destroy every housing unit in a subdivision with supreme display of talent. Also, the whole point of invisibility is to be stealthy, wherein the brush spawned by the grass augment would stick out like a sour green thumb. Valor is pretty much a free, effortless Uber. Easy must-have. You'll need to hit something with a quill to heal, which isn't the best. Overall, kinda bad, outside of the instant harem.
Yep, that's Sonic. It's Sonic!
Tunnel would be the only dash that would logically allow you to go through walls. Sounds good on paper, but in reality, the mayor of your city probably won't approve of you having a tunnel system from your house to KFC. God Crocodile go. If you live in like tribal woods, then sure, all your abilities would be an absolute treat. Otherwise, Thrill of the Hunt has a nice long length of camouflage. The sword isn't even together. Seriously though, your abilities aren't too useful, but the shield is cool, I guess. Ooh, I'd love to just have a big, rickety, unstable robot. Flame Spitter and Equalizer are too destructive, but the shield is okay, I guess. I would say that Realm Warp is the best teleport ability besides Destiny. It doesn't go nearly as far as Twisted Fates, but Realm Warp can teleport both you and your friends, as well as any stuff between the both of you. And it can go through walls too. I'd like to ride a large piggy, why not? I mean, he looks clean for the most part. Dawning Shadow would wipe out every living animal and human being around the equator if you use it from the Philippines, so no to that. Curse of the Black Mist could lead to fun shenanigans with your friends though. Closing your wounds is great, of course. The rest of the kit is badass though. No JoJo reference, you f***s. Deceive is a mix of a blink and invisibility. Literally a nothing personal kid. Hallucinate could be a stand-in for like office meetings or something, but it lasts too short and explodes. Ooh, your friend can fly to like Portugal or something. Then, you can stand united to him. Free ticket. Or to the younger audience members, teleport to one of your friends already at school. There's probably a lot more applications that I'm too mentally deficient to think of. Transforming into a fucking dragon is actually not too beneficial to you, but hey, you've probably been drawing dragons since you were a kid and now you're one. Insanity Potion would be good, but I feel that it would be unpleasant to take. Like, the DEA might break into your house. Scion backwards is
nice.
That joke was made to hide the fact that his abilities would be bad and slaughter everybody around you, especially Unstoppable Onslaught. Speed boost for your friends is sweet. The boomerang blade looks very sharp and would probably sooner kill you than you getting good at using it. Unlike the bar chimes which pop up all over the map, crystal spires have fixed spots where they can spawn. Maybe they'll spawn in specific areas of the world? In any case, none of the abilities are particularly useful. Skarner would probably get a useless rating if not for Crystalline Exoskeleton, which is a shield and running shoes rolled into one. Don't impale your friends. Aria Perseverance, easily. It's also your best song, Fight Me. Soraka's Wish would be like a reverse Thanos snap. That doesn't make sense. It rids everybody's ailments pretty much. Vision of Empire, maybe? Everything else is too violent. Also, a demon would live inside you, but at least he's nice and quiet. Hijack would be badass in a world where everybody has special abilities. Abscond Abduct is pretty much an Amumu bandage though, so pretty good. Unless those balls have grape jelly filling, I don't want any of them.
Beat that ass!
You'd be like Toph pretty much. Your basic abilities don't last too long, but rock surfing is endless. Parkour is cool. Wow, Turnip is awarding the best ability to the heal again, what a f***ing surprise. You disappear after a few seconds sitting in front of the PC. Neckbeards disappear forever and are declared dead. Death Sentence would probably be my pick, but Dark Passage would be a cool rescue tool. Rocket Jump would fuck up the floor every time you use it, which doesn't really matter cause you'll probably die from the blast anyways. You'd have a rocket launcher, I guess. Club too big, blah 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 blah. The Ice Schlong is great to pull out on hot summers. You get a really crappy heal from Bloodless, but it's a heal nonetheless. Be careful of jet lag and immigration police when you choose to teleport to Paris for fresh baguettes every Sunday. All your abilities would smell like sewer water, to be honest. Ambush is a classic choice for a good ability to have in real life, though its duration has been nerfed a long time ago. Still good. All of them have their uses, but I'm gonna go with Bear for
Fast as fuck, boy!
and Turtle for protection. Yeah, you really want to look like that guy from Monsters Incorporated? I don't think you would even be able to eat cause your whole digestive system was thrown out. By our rules, you'd only get the bow, cause none of your abilities are relevant to the two gay dudes inside Varus. Unlike Kain, whose passive revolves around the chatty Darkid. That said, they are still not terribly good. Your best asset would be your bow, which looks sick as f*** at least. The invisibility is just too short to be significant. Not useless, but very close. Also, both mini and regular crossbows look sweet. Dark Matter would cause a crater the size of like the one in Mexico. Getting intel on someone would be a lot better if you didn't have to spit roast them. Blast Shield would be the winner, but it only triggers on caving someone's face in. And going with Vault Breaker, cause Assault and Battery needs a target and is illegal in most of the United States. If there was an ability that's just the third hand without needing to fire a deadly laser, then that one. Unfortunately, everything else isn't too practical. None of these abilities refresh your blood tank other than Transfusion, which needs a target. You'd probably die into a pool of blood immediately when you use literally any ability. Chosen of the Storm would suddenly trigger when you're like 80 and almost dying. It'll be a wholesome second wind. You call him a madman, But Darkmane was actually correct.
Rank 5 on E. I understand how every single thing on this planet smells like. I no longer need vision to see them, I can just smell them.
Because Bloodhunt is global, you'd smell every single injured person in the world. Can you imagine how much that would fuck up your senses? Warrior Trickster would be cool, but I feel your buddies would get annoyed at you when you use it too much. You'd have very crappy knives, I guess. Windwall destroys, not reflects, projectiles, as far as I know. So, it's a non-threatening, portable trash compactor pretty much. If the souls of dead bodies count as grapes for your passive, then that would be a wacky trip to the morgue. Otherwise, Yorick's abilities would be kinda useless, unfortunately. You'd have a free shovel though. Sweet! You can use it to like eat cereal. You can be somebody's ethereal spirit, pretty much. Best part is the person has no choice on whether or not you can integrate into them and just have to deal with your annoying ass. Ooh, this is a great one. It works pretty much the same as Anivius, except you turn into blobs. As long as, like, a serial killer doesn't step on them or something, it's pretty much immortality. The rest of your abilities would probably just be an absolute joy to use. Who doesn't want to have the consistency of Jello? Living Shadow is a blink, so that one. I do think that it would work differently than most blinks in that it probably won't go through walls cause you use a shadow instead of just popping out of the spot you want. It would probably still work through stuff like gratings though. Way too balmy to be anything other than limited. Yes, you can use it on yourself. But the best part of this ability that puts it above every other immortality spell is that you can use it on other people and save their asses. Also, as someone on Reddit told me, you work as a doctor. You put Chronoshift on your patient, kill them, then voila! All good. It's not unethical or macabre at all. Rewind, unfortunately, only reduces the cooldown of 2 specific abilities and doesn't work like Echo's Chrono Break. Now you're thinking with portals. The flowers look nice, I guess. And that's that. If I'd have to rate them, here's my top 3 worst and my top 3 best. Thanks for watching, by the way. Comment down below which abilities you would love to have in real life. I'd really love to know. Subscribe if you're new, and yeah, that's about it. Salamat at mag-ingat kayo.